Oh, why does this look different? What? What is this? What is going on here? Whatever. I'll wait till someone shows up so I can ask them. Got our goblins here. These are, because I know people are going to ask, these are the Great Coat Goblins from Trollette Miniatures. And he has a ton of, I think, second edition inspired stuff. And I just love the aesthetics of his stuff. So this is what we're gonna do today. So I've been working on these orcs over here on and off for a few days. So we got some color here. We got some brown on there, some tan, and then we got the green, of course, because goblins are green. Yes, vermin. We got 30 grots, great coat grots, and they're gonna go along with my all shooty orc army that I have over here because I can't be. I have an addiction to orcs. What's up, Train Hawk? What's up, everybody? Ah, still trying to kind of get stuff set up because I just recorded the December work and production stuff video. So I'm gonna do this for you guys, get these done, and then go edit that later tonight to get it uploaded for tomorrow. So I'm kind of spazzing around here. So let's see here. We got this going on. We're gonna do some Satchel Brown for their little satchels. So let's see. No, the orcs in the video I did today were these guys. I'm still not done with them yet. This is I. Well, I mean, you're part of the member section. You see how I do stuff. So I do. I don't know what army is going to be coming up next before it's kind of too late already. So, well, I mean, no one really watches these live streams. So, for the week coming up this weekend, we got the Human Defense Force Armored Company, and then in that video, roll the thing to get the Darkwing Destroyers, which I have been working on those as well. Now, this is as far as they've gotten so far. So I've spent the last 2 days painting these. Ta-da! We'll just have to see how they do this weekend. So let's get ready to do some Satchel Brown. And my phone looks real different compared to what it normally does. No, these aren't ogres. These are come here. God, I got so far away. These are Saturnine Terminators. I got these from Heresy Labs. They have multiple different versions of them. I got the eggshell type shoulder pads just because I thought they looked. Honestly, I thought they looked funny. So I'm like, yes, absolutely. And I still got to do some battle damage because they come with some pock marks in them. And then we're going to do a black wash in the recesses for all of the metal. And a couple little things like that skull on the knee pad. I still got to do that. Yeah, it's almost there, but not there yet. That'll be a problem for tomorrow, Fitz. Tonight, we're doing grots. Okay. And it looks like I said, I was in the middle of doing all kinds of stuff. And it looks like a cat has drank most of my paint water. Little buggers. Alright, so let's see. Hello. Focus. Focus. Do I gotta focus? How's that? Will you focus? Damn it. There we go. What's up, Myers? Did I pick up any good STLs from the winter sale? Oh, I picked up all kinds of good STLs from the winter sale. But a lot of them are for the themed lists. So you don't get to know what they are yet. Okay, we might as well do their boots too, this color. Like I said, this... Are we focused all the way out here? Ooh. Let's... Whoa, my goodness. Oh, good God Almighty. There we go. So I just did a video, just uploaded a video about what model agnostic is. So that should be an interesting. That should be interesting to see what kind of numbers that does. But that was all inspired because doing all these themed lists, some of them are just going to look, I guess you could say, out of place. Some stuff does not look like what you would think it's supposed to look like. So this is kind of a fun topic and also covering my butt for later. When people ask, what are those? And then I tell them and go, that's not what they are. I'm like, well, technically. So how's everybody else doing out there tonight? What y'all working on? Let me make sure I didn't. Yes, I did. I screwed that up. There we go. I watched probably about a half hour of the OPR live stream. What was it, on Tuesday? So I got as far as where he said that they're going to be doing orcs next year. And I got so excited, I could not contain myself any longer. And decided 2025 will be the year of the orc. Ooh, leaving Abrams. That sounds like it is going to look good. And yet, it's Raidaholic. It happens to all of us. As much as we don't like to admit it, we're not young kids anymore. Well, Myers, awesome. Getting stuff together is great. And then, yeah, goblins being their own faction, that is going to be, it's going to be something. It is going to be something. Will be interesting to see if they just split like they are now, or if there's going to be more fleshing out of the goblins and the orcs to cover stuff. And then earlier this week, actually, New Year's Eve, I was on the live stream with One Page More. Oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah, that was a late stream. Yeah, I was on there with One Page More, and we were talking about the lore of OPR. As I said, I was receiving a lecture from Professor Frog. Oh, my furnace is going to turn on. And we talked about stuff, and then, half of the lore factions that he didn't cover 6 months ago. So that was fun. Talked a little bit about the good, the bad, and some of the failings of the OPR lore. It's like it has potential. The lore has potential, but they need to I don't know, they need something. Everything feels real close, or the stories have kind of like they give you the story up to a certain point and then just stop. And then some stories they give us too much. Like, you should have stopped 5 pages ago. But it was fun to go over stuff. Yeah, we were up until for me it was 3 a.m. Well, no, Matt. Well, Matt, hi. Thanks for coming. No, we weren't comparing the lore to GW. We were just comparing. We were just taking the OPR lore for what it was. We were just looking at the story that is there now, the different themes for the different armies, and just the lore that they have up to the point that they're at. I mean, there's no point in comparing OPR lore to GW lore. It's just it's 30 years of backstory and multiple people in there. It's nearly impossible for anyone to compare to the lore of 40K. I need to sit down and read some of the short stories. I've read a few, but I need to oh, it's not exactly I have time. Maybe if I loaded them into something and it could audiobook it for me. That would be great. That's an idea for OPR. You guys could take your short stories that you have already made, the ones that are out there for free, and just, I don't know, read them or have an AI read them and turn them into videos. And on top of talking about lore, I think at 3 a.m. I volunteered to be part of his Star Quest team. I don't know. I was half delirious. So, yeah, it was cool. Those guys jumping in there was great. You know, one page more. He's been gone for like 6 months. We we were starting to worry about him. Yeah, I said I'd do it, and I'll do it. I'm not gonna back out now. But yeah, going back a little bit, who could compare? Yeah, BattleTech can compare to 40K lore. I remember I was reading BattleTech books, 30 years ago. When I was getting those from like the local library. Some of the stuff was good, but of course, I was like 10 or 12, so a lot of it did not. A lot of it went over my head. Where am I on the screen? There we go. Oh, see, I wouldn't know. I have never been into Magic the Gathering. I spent all my time on plastic crack. I didn't have any time or money left over for cardboard crack. I think I bought some. I remember owning Magic cards when I was really young, but I think it was because I liked the artwork on them. I don't think I have successfully ever played a game of Magic the Gathering. Yeah, I think a big problem is that a big problem I think with gaming in general right now is everyone's just God, why hair everywhere. Everyone is just so focused on making as much profit as possible, and that it's just not a way to do. I mean, I'll say that's not a way to do a hobby company, but they're all making money. So what do I know? But from somebody that used to play back then, someone who got into GW stuff in the 90s versus what they are today, totally night and day. Now, I've never been to a Games Workshop store. I've never even seen a Games Workshop store. It was always friendly local game stores. It was the only way I was able to play. But just the thought that somewhere there's a store out there with GW red shirts, it was one of those, I'll make it there someday. And now, no, I don't even care. Everything feels too corporate. What's up, Devious? How you doing tonight? You walked in about me bitching about the games hobby in general. Yeah, the thing is though that, whoa. It means maximize profits. Yeah, yeah. That's a big thing when companies go public. It's all about chasing money, which it's yeah. Like I said, I like what do I know? They're making money. You have to. I have to be greedy by law. But I watched half of Northern Exile's video today, where he pulled out the graph and showed the stock price of GW over the last, well, since the beginning. True, they are making a lot more money now, but I just, it just felt better back when that line was short. I I don't even think you can get these handles anymore. This might have legit been my last purchase from GW. The game store I was going to at the time was going out of business, so they had these things. I think they were like $15 a piece, but having a going out of business sale, they were like 5 a piece, and I bought like 5 of them, and I'm down to 2 left. But yeah, these are great, especially when I'm doing it on stream here. Because normally when I'm just doing it with my hands, I'm moving it all over the place, and even the focusing now for the camera is difficult. So when I'm just doing it with my hands, it's impossible. Yeah, they got something now that's like 4 times the size, or it's skinnier or something. Or they have the ones with that are like the skinny little necks, so they legit look like butt plugs. And so that was the joke. Yeah, I'll explain every time. It just meh. Why would I not explain? I'm a nerd. Someone shows interest in my hobby, I jump all over like, ooh, ooh, let me tell you. Like my boss at work is a big nerd, and she loves it when I come in and I tell her, yeah, I ran a D&D game last night. She wants to hear all about it. Oh yeah, that was the joke. And I was like, we were like paying for the GW butt plug handle. But I know there's a lot of the 3D STLs that you can get that are pretty much the same thing, but instead of like internal springs, let's see if we can see it. Okay, you can't see them in there, but those rails on the side have springs inside. So the 3D printed ones, you just got to use rubber bands. They have it set up in a way to use that. You can, I mean, there's a lot of money in that, from what I hear. How does an all-orc campaign work? Well, first, we all pregame and get drunk. We get half drunk, and then we fill our mouths with marbles, and then we mumble at each other for about 5 hours. You know, that is a good idea. The BattleTech turn sequence. All right. Yep. Definitely had a cat get into my paint water. Be right back. 15 seconds. So, yes, I did see the OPR Orc concept models, and I like them. Well, of course, I mean, I'm kind of biased. I like any version of Orcs. Yeah, BattleTech is crunchy. I used to play that a lot when I was younger too. We had a group of guys who were in their. I mean, I was like 20 something, and we had a group of guys that were in their 40s that loved BattleTech, and so naturally, the young guys we got into BattleTech, and yeah, it was crunchy, but once you got into it, it was all right. Okay, metals, 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 metals. We're gonna go enchanted steel because enchanted steel is kind of is real close to bolt gun metal, which that's what I used on the Orc Boys. You can see on their weapons there. It's as close to bolt gun metal as we can get with the speed paints. The what was it? The polished silver. This one's like shining silver. But I'll tell you what though, a lot of the a lot of the other speed paint metals, I have not found a good use for those. Like I don't even have any pulled up. Like well, Horde Bronze, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. But when you get to like the coppers and the brass, it does not come out that great. I think they need more metal flake in there or something. Because most of the time the copper just comes out brown. There's no shine to it. But I could be doing something wrong. Do, 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 do. All right. Focus. Don't don't look at the pile. Come on, camera. Don't look at the pile. Look at me. There we go. Good enough. Yeah. Why are you focusing all the way back there? Okay, hold on. Hold on. I have an idea. This could revolutionize what I got going on here. Haha. There we go. I mean, tabletop RPG session is not out of the question. We would just have to see if we can get schedules to line up. Yeah, I know. I know Nexus is set up like a Discord channel with all of the OPR creators, so we can all talk to each other. It's kind of gone quiet lately. Like everyone's doing their own thing, which I mean is fine, but I like collaborating. Yeah, Nexus Wargaming. He's the one that does all of the OPR competitive stuff. Oh yeah, I definitely watched that one. Pretty much all the OPR content creators, I try to watch everything of theirs. Even even the French guys who are doing battle reports. I'll turn on English closed captions and try to follow along, but oh, it gives me a that starts giving me a headache. So I'll just let it play in the background while I do something else. Yeah, I go to sleep listening to the Frenchman. But they got some good looking models over there. I feel like OPR is like right on the edge of really getting in front of a lot of eyeballs. No, no mummified. They've all. The only thing I've seen out of them is Grimdark Future stuff. Yeah, one page more. I remember when he first started and like he came into the early collaborative stuff that we did. I was like, your voice actually sounds like that. That's crazy. I thought he was AI or something. Yep. See you later, Test. Hey, Timothy, how you doing? Yeah, like it's so close. And that's one of the things. Like I'm going to Adepticon this year, and then I heard Gaetano say that he might not be making it. I'm like, oh, that's half the reason I want to go is to talk to you. So, we'll see. I'm still gonna go. Definitely gonna go. I feel like this is so thick. You're a speed paint. Oh, I'm sure he's fine. You're just passionate. Yeah, I right before I did this, I recorded the December work production video, and I saw your last message. I was like, hey, he brought another gamer into the world. Oh yeah, it'll get there. It'll get there, but I feel like needs a little bit of a nudge. That sounds terrible. I don't mean like I want to nudge it, but I feel like there's potential that is it's right there. Oh, wait. Let me put that over here. Like there's I mean, I defended it in the beginning, but the more I go into it, there's not much grimdark in the grimdark future. But we could fix that. Yeah, the Ranger program is a great step. Absolute great step. As soon as I saw that, I remembered GW Outriders. Yeah, you'll have your own little Lord of the Dead like I do. Every time something on the table dies, he goes, ooh, takes it and puts it over on his table and plays his own game with it. Yeah, over on Patreon, I've got one up so far. Now they're gonna get better, but I'm doing behind the scenes videos now where we just take one camera and we put it right above the table, and then we just let it record the whole time, so it gets all the table talk, it gets everything there. Yeah, the reason why it's on Patreon is because sometimes we have a tendency to say stuff that might get me kicked directly off of YouTube. But yeah, in there, you'll get to see the Lord of the Dead, little 7-year-old Evan, come over and demand that we hand him the dead models. That goes on my table now. Like, yeah, okay. Touching what? Yeah, in the world book, I saw potential in the world book, but then just like the stories would wrap up. Like, oh, okay. And yeah, like I was looking for the grimdark. Like maybe I could do like dystopian stuff in the inner sphere with the rebels, guerrillas, and stuff. But I don't know. There's no bad guys. And there's no real hard conflict in there. Yeah, like I said, all the wars were concluded. A lot of the stuff I read is like, you should have left out the last like 5 paragraphs there. Then we got a setting. But here's what it is. Like we could take that and we could make some stuff out of it, or we could tell the stories in our narratives about the wars that did happen, or just strike out on our own and write randomness. Like my next campaign we're going to be doing is Robot Legion and the High Elf Fleet. And I've started making some... I've started making some High Elf-like terrain. So... I'm gonna see if I can make that good and grimdark. We'll see. We shall see. Well, yes, there are campaigns planned for Age of Fantasy. I have like I have lists and lists and lists of stuff to do for the different game systems. Age of Fantasy right now, just like reading through the stories, the one that kind of hit me is the weirdest, and probably the one that I can get the weirdest with, is Halflings versus the Giants. So, like I said, that's still in the concept phase. That's going to be second half of the year. And I'm still not totally sold on that one. I could do Ogres and Shadow Stalkers. Or Rats and Havoc Warriors. Like I said, I got lists of stuff. Or like what kind of a fantasy campaign would you want? Just throwing it out there. Like I said, still early days. I could write a campaign for something else. Yeah, the Shadow Stalker models, I really, really enjoy those. They are very undead dinosaur. Mummified. I know your vote. Which, honestly, right now, Mummified Undead, I think, might be my largest fantasy army at the moment. What would be doable is not aligned. Well, I mean, what would you want? There's not currently doable, and then there's impossible. Hmm. Yes, yes, demons have been mentioned. Which, another sneak preview for your guys watching the live stream. The next fantasy army after the Scorpion King is going to be Change Demons. So I got those currently coming off the printer right now. Yeah, I haven't done a War Demons army yet. Well, I mean, I've printed a War Demons army, but I printed them in bad resin. So I lost steam on that one fast. You have undead with undead angels. Well, my first fantasy campaign I did had some Kingdom of Angel stuff that kind of went sideways. Oh, I keep missing stuff. Yeah, it was the War Demons were the last ones I did, and I think I was using like any cubic resin at that point, just standard resin. It was right before I discovered Sunlu ABS stuff, and yeah, they just they all lost their weapons. So that army is in a box, and I will probably just reclaim their bases one day and start over. And I think that's the last army where I actually bought bases off of Amazon for. When I was thinking that printing bases was a waste. Yeah. Yeah, the resins that are out now are incredible compared to what they were just like 2 years ago. That's another cool thing too about one-page rules is they're showing up right at the right time here, where home 3D printing is kind of hitting its stride. Yeah, I print all my bases and I print them in resin. No particular reason, but like this, these are bases waiting for the Change Demons. Here's 20 32 millimeter bases. I print them 2 millimeters thick. One for saving on resin, and then two because I kind of like a narrower profile to it. Until I get to like the bigger stuff, and then I go 3 or 4 millimeters thick. Oh, they're downloaded. I think that file is just called Basic Bases of All Sizes, and it's every base size that like GW has made, and then all the ones that make sense in between. So I think there's like 30 files in that folder. But they come 4 millimeters thick, and then I just scale them down on the x-axis, I think it is, to go to 2 millimeters. I think it's on Thingiverse. But like a lot of this stuff, I got those a long time ago. So I just know the file that I have on my computer is called Basic Bases of All Sizes. Or if you just go on Thingiverse and type in bases, dozens of folders there. Good night, Timothy. Good luck with the kid. Hope he stays asleep. Yeah, pre-supports now are becoming a big thing. Quality pre-supports are a big thing. It's very rare to find a file that you pay for that's not pre-supported. So that saves a lot of time. I remember back in the before times, that was 90% of the battle was doing your supports. There's definitely an art to it. Yeah, have a great night. There's even some stuff now. If I get pre-supported and unsupported files, a lot of stuff I'll just support myself because some people support things in an orientation that takes much longer than it should. Can't find them. All right. Just type in war game bases, tabletop bases, Warhammer bases. There'll definitely be something there. If not, I'll look later and I'll put a link on the Discord or something. I've not seen the Tactical Titan. What is that? Is that the legendary for this month? Oh well, that compact rack there, that one was mine. Like like I said, these show up just unsupported 4 millimeters thick. So I have this in 32, 25, and I think cavalry bases. I have those in racks of 5. Like these are the 32s. These are the 25s. And I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can put the file somewhere. Yeah, there's whole guys that have made a business out of supporting files. I was watching what's his name, Once in a Six Side, and I know he does stuff on pre-supports, and then he mentioned that there was a company that does pre-supports, and I was like, wow, it's big enough to where it supports a whole company. Who would have thought? Okay. So these little dudes are just about to where they need to be to get their oil wash, because my orcs that I'm going to be doing are going to be dark and evil looking. So, like, I love goofy looking goblins like this. I'm so happy I found these files, and like I said, these are from Trollet, Trollet, and he does a lot of Rogue Trader and Second Edition inspired stuff. To focus, damn it. So there's a lot of these I got to do little things on. Like, let me see here. There's some that have their tongues poking out. But overall, just gonna put a wash on them. Got to do the bases. I don't even know how I'm gonna do the bases yet. The rest of my orcs are like in a desert scheme. So, yeah. I love Grots. So much potential, so much character. So goofy. So yeah, I think that's where we're going to call it for tonight, guys. I got to go upstairs and edit a video to get it out tomorrow. So, yeah. And that's going to be the December worker production stuff. And if you were the winner, I will DM you. So yeah. That'll do it for me tonight. I hope you guys are having fun playing OPR wherever you are, and happy painting. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.